And here we go. Here is Spirit Iron Knife in box, and as you can see, it's the standard G.I. Joe classified packaging that we've come to know and love with the line, at least up until this point, going plastic free in the near future. But for now, we've got the window on the front showing off the figure, and of course showing off all the goodies. They chuck loads of added value in with G.I. Joe Classified, and they're making sure we know about it here in this box window. Then the unique character art in the bottom right corner here, which they have on all their packages, and this is a great one. Loving that, actually. Yeah, really nice, really evocative of the character's origins and the personality of the individual. And speaking of the artwork, that continues onto the side of the package, where we've got a much larger version there of that individual character artwork along the spine here. And then on the other side, he's number 36 in the line, and then we've got this new G.I. Joe Classified version of the data card with the symbols on that you can cross-reference on the website. So that's there. And then the back is the new artwork that we've had on these figures for a short while now, as they accumulate more characters and add more characters into this kind of poster thing on the back of the box, again with the mysterious shadowy figure in the middle there. Put your guesses in the comments down below. They've got a little row of tanks down the bottom here, actually, which now, as I'm recording this review, they've just announced the His Tank HasLab, and I'm just glancing at that, and there's not actually a His Tank in the picture, which is kind of ironic, but there you go. So there's the back. Right, let's get him opened up. I'm going to go in from the bottom here. I've already popped the tape with my knife. So we get that open. There we go, paperwork. And slide him out like this. There we go. And it's just a standard G.I. Joe backing card for Spirit. Wow, there we are. So loads going on in here. We've got the... get the eagle out to begin with. The eagle comes in packet with the wings down. But as you can see, we've got a couple of extra wings here, showing off the wingspan. Spread eagled. So there we go. Then we've got his backpack here. His rifle. Looks like there's some tape here. Well, looks like it's going to be an editing job, so you can avoid sitting there watching my bitten fingernails shambles of an effort to take this tape off. There we go. We're in. So we've got a little kind of... That looks like it's a traditional Native American little knife there. And we've got the sniper rifle. Love that. That was a big pull on the figure for me, was this really cool sniper rifle. Having a sniper character, it's going to have a lot of photo opportunities with it. Then we've got another knife, more military looking knife, and his handgun, which to me looks like the handguns that the army dudes in the old World War II films use. I don't know. Again, I'm not a gun guy, so I don't know what type of gun it is, other than it's a pistol, but it to my memory, to look at, it evokes that kind of World War II soldier. But there's some interesting detail on that, which we'll have a look at later. And then, of course, Spirit himself. And there we go. There he is with all his goodies. Oh, I feel like I've got a bit of a stiff groin again. But there we go. Yeah, there he is. There's the man himself. So I'm going to go away now, have a bit of a play, get some photos taken, pose him up, give him some shelf time, see how he feels, see how he works, and then come back and share some of my thoughts in a couple of days' time. So over to Future Chris. And here he is. Here is Spirit in the plastic. I've been away, I've had a play, I've posed him up, you know the routine if you're a regular around these parts. But what I will say is it's been quite a while since I recorded the unboxing section that you've just watched. Those of you paying attention will have heard me pass comment about a bit of a dodgy leg thing going on, and it was indeed a very dodgy leg situation. So much so that he got sent back, and this is the new one. This is the exchange one. So the Spirit you're looking at here is not the one that I just unboxed previously, full disclosure. I don't think that makes a difference. But yeah, the leg on the right-hand side here was misaligned in the hip joint, and so it was sticking out the front and didn't sit properly. And when you moved it, there was some very anxiety-inducing clickety-clacks and some stress lines, and I wasn't happy and comfortable with it. And the retailer I used, because they are awesome, sorted me out. So there you go. But I've been away, had a play, and now I'm back ready to share some thoughts. I've had some good hands-on time with him. And so I'm going to follow my usual review structure, what I call the 3 A's. I'm going to start by talking about the aesthetic of the figure. How does Spirit look? Then I'm going to move on to the articulation. How does he feel? How does he move? And then I'm going to finish up with the 3rd A, accessories, and talk about all the goodies that have come with Spirit. And this is a very special accessory selection with this guy. So that's a section definitely to pay a lot of close attention to. So let's not dilly-dally around. Let's get into it and let's talk a little bit about how Spirit looks. Hey folks, before we go any further, I just wanted to take a moment's pause to say an enormous thank you to all the new subscribers who have joined me on this channel in the last couple of weeks. I am honestly overwhelmed. I only ever thought I'd have a handful of subscribers, and I asked for some help from you, dear viewers, and you mobilised and you've helped me. And now I'm at a subscriber number I never thought I would ever have. And it's just really my absolute honour and privilege to have you subscribe to my channel and come here and watch my little videos. I just love being a big old man-child nostalgia nerd who's sharing his joy and passion for things like these action figures on video. And just the comments and everything, you're lovely. You're all so lovely and warm and helpful and amazing. And I'm just ever so grateful. It really is my privilege. Thank you so very much. Yeah, there you go. Oh, cheers. Yeah, I'm going to stop now. Let's get on with the review. Right, okay, I've brought him a little bit nearer the camera so we can take a closer look at the aesthetic of Spirit. Man, I've got to tell you, these G.I. Joe Classified reviews are going to start getting a bit boring and repetitive because once again, I've got nothing but glowing praise. I am impressed, again, by the quality of aesthetic that is going in this figure. The look, the feel, the texture, the depth, the narrative, the story that the figure tells at a glance is just absolutely outstanding. They really have just knocked it out the park once again with this G.I. Joe Classified series figure. In fact, I'm very close to reaching the point of only collecting G.I. Joe Classified from Hasbro because, well, I'll refer you, keep an eye out on the channel, folks. There's a Marvel Legends animated series Jean Grey review about to drop. That, I don't know, maybe the tone of my voice right now is saying it all, but after having a run of G.I. Joe Classified figures like this, I don't know, everything just pales in comparison because look at him, he looks amazing. I mean, look at the head sculpt on this guy. They really know how to do a face sculpt, the G.I. Joe Classified team, because look at the chin and the definition in the cheeks and around the mouth and the nose and so well. The paint apps are really tremendous. Look at the eyes. The quality of the eyes and the eyebrows, you can really see like the fuzzy hairiness of the eyebrows. That's the technical term, ladies and gents. So, but he's got that very serious, stoic, thoughtful look on his face. He's strategizing. He's thinking about his next tactical move. That's what you want from your G.I. Joe Classified figures. He's a serious soldier man, and he's doing his job. And I love that. And then you've got the little splash of colour in here. We've got the bobbles on the bottom of the braided hair. I mean, bobbles is what I call them with my daughter. My young daughter, I don't know what Spirit would call these. But yeah, the little splash of colour with the red and then the headscarf. And you can see, again, more detail. The braids in the hair and then the creases and folds in the headscarf. Just really, again, just accentuating the very real contemporary look of the figure. I'm so on board with it. And if I turn him ever so slightly there, you can see this little flick of hair that's kind of broken loose over the top of the headscarf and it's hanging down his face, and it just drapes. I mean, the braided hair and that little breakaway piece of hair there just looks perfect, absolutely perfect. And then if I turn him sort of face down, you can see that quality, that detail just continues into the whole hair sculpt on the top of his head. And then if we have a look at the back, you've got more detail and creases in the headscarf and the little knot that he's tied at the back of his head there. And then the way the two braided hair pieces fall and drape over his shoulder. Just, brilliant. Really, just the attention to detail is second to none with the G.I. Joe Classified stuff. Then into the body. I mean, the colours strike you, definitely. That lovely kind of, was it like a powder blue? A baby blue? I don't know what kind of blue that is, but the blue shirt really stands out, but in the right kind of way. Adds a splash of colour to the G.I. Joe Classified side of the shelf, but not a splash of colour that stands out in the wrong way. It's the right way, if you know what I mean. But then that works really well with the kind of khaki brown of the trousers, and then the darker brown of his kind of belt and his gloves and his boots and his holster, etc., etc. So it kind of really frames the figure nicely, which I'm appreciative of. And once again, the attention to detail. I mean, look at the folds and creases and fabric textures in the shirt. The leathery look looks so subtle on the nice sheath and on the Falconeer's glove here, but just looks awesome. And then the fabric in the trousers. I think they're the same pants that Beachhead wears. But anyway, but yeah, and you've got the texture, the leathery look in the straps, the silver belt buckle here, and then the black clasp on the front of that second belt. So neatly painted. The paint applications are outstanding. And talking about paint applications, look at the golden bracelets around his wrist as well. So neat and tidy. But again, just add to the framing and the overall kind of at a glance eyeball experience that you're getting with Spirit just really works with the little splashes of colour. The browns frame the blue shirt. Got the splashes of red here with his little scarf in between his shirt collar, and then his headscarf around the top of his head there across his forehead. Just, can you not tell by the sound of my voice? I'm so in love with the way this figure looks. And then we've got the boots. Nice, again, leathery brown boot effect. You can see every lace in the belt holes there, the lace boot hole bits. And then the black sole on the boots there. Just drink him in. Just drink him in. Look at him. Brilliant. So very, very, very impressed with the attention to detail, with the way that he looks. Just absolutely outstanding. Well done, G.I. Joe Classified. I'm happy once again. You've got another happy collector over here. So yeah, I'm going to stop with the aesthetic section because obviously I'm just starting to just gush embarrassingly over the figure. Clearly, as a display piece, as something to photograph, the way he looks, I'm very, very happy with. But now let's talk a little bit about how he feels, how he moves. Let's move into the articulation section. And, well, I'm sorry to report, folks, that it is, once again, nothing but positive things to say about the Spirit figure. If you've ever had a G.I. Joe Classified figure in hand, you'll know that the articulation really is second to none. They've found a sort of model with how they're working with it, and it works. It's the range of motion. All the key articulation points are really lovely and give you lots of options. And if you're a photographer or you like to sort of dioramize? Whatever, I'm going with it. Dioramize your figures and make displays and things, you're in a good place. Let's start with the head above the shoulders. And you can see we've got the hinge in the neck and then the ball joint at the top of the head, which gives good down, or decent-ish down. He's a bit stiff, actually, Spirit. Good up. You've got your full 360 Exorcist there. Bit of tilt. Nice left and right. It's all good. The braided hair pieces do not get in the way and affect the range of motion. So there's lots of options available with the head stuff going on. Moving down into the main body, we've got the butterfly joints in the shoulder here on both sides to add a little bit of extra range of motion forward and back there. Then he's got the shoulder joints bringing a nice T. We've got the swivel at the top of the bicep and tricep, pretty standard stuff. The nice, lovely double elbow, like so. Although not pinless on Spirit, I note. I should have mentioned that in the aesthetics section, but you know what, it doesn't bother me. They've made the effort to make the pins match the skin tone of the arms, so it's not as egregious as I've seen on some figures in the past. But yeah, there you go, there's the double elbow. And then we've got the swivel in the wrist and the hinge forward and back on the right arm, and then the swivel in the wrist and the hinge up and down in the left arm. Then we've got the ab crunch here in the middle of the body. It's a bit restricted by the straps, but not too much. It can go a good forward and a good back there, as you can see. And then there's a bit of waist swivel in there as well, which can help the kind of forward and back stuff that you might be doing. Then into the legs, here at the hips, it's the standard G.I. Joe Classified drop-down joint, which gives a decent range of motion there. This Spirit, even the second Spirit now that I've got, kind of sits a little bit uncomfortably in the top of the hip there, but it's all right. But yeah, good forward, good back, good side to side. I don't know if you can hear it sort of clicky-clacking there. It's a bit crunchy, but there you go. And then we've got swivel at the top of the thigh, double knee all the way back, swivel at the top of the boot, and then the forward and back, and rocker as standard in the ankle. So we've got another thumbs up on articulation now too. That's 2 A's out of 3, knocking it out of the park with Spirit. The articulation on the G.I. Joe Classified series is absolutely the best you'll get at this price point, and it's really impressive when you compare it to other lines. Loads of options, loads of maneuverability for the photographers and for those who like to make really interesting displays with their figures. So yeah, no, not a single bad word to say, except for the fact that he's got the pin joints. Meh. You know, I'm as I said before, I'm happy enough with that. So we're 2 for 2 so far on the 3As. Now let's talk a little bit about the accessories. And true to form, once again, with the G.I. Joe Classified stuff, we've been spoilt with an embarrassment of riches, beginning with this very eye-catching indigenous American little dagger thing. Look at the detail on the blade. It's got the metallic paint app on there as well on the on the blade section of the knife. This really awesome hilt as well. Look at that with the little bird skull on the top. And then he has a sheath for this on his figure. And that slides in there, like so. Then sticking with the blades, we've got another dagger here. Once again, it's a single moulded piece of black plastic, but there's some lovely detail in the grip and in the blade itself. It's just a shame that it's not been painted in the metallic colour on the knife's edge here, but there you go. This also has a sheath on the figure, and that slides in there, like so. Nice tight fit so it won't fall out. Then his handgun here, if you could, I don't know if you can see there, the detail. There is a little kind of bird wing engraving on the pistol there, which looks really awesome. Maybe if I turn it around the other way, we can see it better. You see that little bird wing engraving in there? Lovely touch of detail, but the grip's got detail in it. It's a single molded piece of plastic, but looks awesome. I mentioned in the unboxing section, it reminded me of the old World War II movie, the kind of standard issue pistol that all the soldiers are carrying in the World War II films. I don't know if it is or not, but I know there's a few firearms geeks watching these who might be able to drop in the comments down below and fill me in. Educate me, please, folks. And that has a holster on the right leg here that you can just slot it into there. Again, nice tight fit, so it won't be falling out anytime soon. Then we have Spirit's sniper rifle, which is a lovely piece of work. It's a black molded piece of weaponry, but with the brown grip here under the barrel. Nice detail on the scope. Got the removable magazine that comes in and out of the magazine well. Thank you very much. Someone educated me on that in the comments down below. The removable magazine there. And lots of nice touches of detail. Really lovely looking weapon. And he can get hold of that in either of his hands. Standard, nice fit. Just that kind of push in and twist that you have to do to get the trigger around it. And there we go. There's his rifle. Then we have his backpack here. Pretty straightforward, lots of pouches and storage pockets. Got this little section up here that we'll talk about in a second, but there's a peg on the side that the sniper rifle can sit in through the trigger, and then the peg here on the back of the backpack, which slides as standard into the peg hole on his back like so. The main event, though, when it comes to accessories with this figure, has got to be Spirit's animal companion, the bald eagle Freedom. I mean, look at this. I'm personally not the biggest fan of the animal figures. It's just a cup of tea thing. Personal preference. Horses for courses. I know some people like them. I'm just not as into them. But I've got nothing against them. And it still doesn't keep me from being as impressed as I am with this. I mean, look at it. We've got articulation points. Like, Freedom's got a ball joint in the head there. We've got articulation in the wings. Got articulation in the legs and the claws here. Just mind-blowing level of detail. Just the attention to detail. And then look, the feather effect in the wings and the feather effect. You can really see it sort of down the back and into the tail there. Just absolutely outstanding. So while I'm not the biggest fan of the animal companions, personally, I'm certainly impressed by what we've got on offer here with Freedom. And as if that wasn't enough, Freedom has got interchangeable wings. We've got a wide open wingspan here. Freedom's in flight. So you can have Freedom with the wings tucked in down the side, or you can have Freedom with his wings spread eagle. Outstanding. So, and the detail again, I mean, look at the feather detail on there. Really, really tremendous. So even this extra little added value element just has all the kind of care and attention put into it as they put into the main figures, which I think is just, I mean, it's just wow, isn't it? Just the wow factor. And for that extra little bit of wow factor, we've got 2 points upon Spirit himself, in which he interacts with Freedom. We've got this little perch here on the backpack, and then Freedom can kind of sit on that and peek over Spirit's shoulder and eyeball Cobra villains. And then there's also a couple of peg holes on his Falconeer's glove. Although, can I call it a Falconeer's glove if it's an eagle? But there they are, nonetheless, where Freedom can sit on Spirit's wrist. Although, mine's a bit of a tight fit. I can't quite get the pegs all the way down, which has been bugging me a little bit, but there you go. So yeah, great to see we've got these kind of 2 points of interaction for Spirit and Freedom to, be one together, be companions. Love it. Just for a bit of a comparison, here is Spirit next to Outback. They've been hanging out on the shelf together, and Outback's another recent addition to my G.I. Joe Classified Series shelf. You can kind of see the difference there between the kind of more muscular build on the Outback figure compared to the more kind of athletic build of the Spirit figure. About the same height. Spirit's ever so slightly shorter, although I've got his knees a touch more bent there as well. But I'm loving the way the colour schemes are working, the splash of colour that the two of these provide on the shelf. And here he is with Beachhead, just going back to some of the earlier days of G.I. Joe Classified, so you can see the difference there. Beachhead obviously a bit bulkier with his body armour, comparably. Spirit's appears to be slightly taller. I've not got the tape measure out, and Beachhead's got his knees a bit more bent there, but you can see how well they work together too. And here we go. Here is a fully kitted out Spirit. This is the pose that I've had him in on my shelf. I'm really into the birdwing motif on the pistol, so I've gone with the handgun for his armament on the shelf, and I've sort of angled it out. It's a bit uncomfortable, but I've angled it out because I want to show off the birdwing motif on the pistol. And of course, you've got to have Freedom in the mix, so I've popped Freedom on his arm. He's been hanging out with Outback and Stalker, my two other recent additions to the G.I. Joe side of the display shelf. And I've got to say, the three of them together look tremendous. They look really good, the three of them. The kind of colour schemes, the elements of uniformality, but then the individual personality and character traits that are in all three of them as well just kind of blends together so perfectly. I'm very, very happy with these recent additions to my G.I. Joe Classified collection. And I'm sure you'll agree, seeing him go round here, he just looks great. Really great looking figure. It's just another double thumbs up MoDXtra recommends review for Spirit here today, because he is excellent. Okay, well, I think I'll wrap that up there. Please do, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, then head on down below, hit that red button, boop that subscribe, come and join me. And if you've enjoyed the review that I've done today, please take a moment to give me a thumbs up like as well. It takes you just a second, but it means ever so much to me. Otherwise, I've been Chris, known as the True Mr. 6 online, and this is MoDXtra Games and Collectibles review of Spirit Iron Knife. Thanks for watching.